Hello everyone, welcome back to another Plathunt update. In today's video we've got version 1.2, which brings a whole set of new features to the table, including a rarity leaderboard, additional profile stats and quality of life updates. Now the first thing I'd like to talk about is the rarity leaderboard. So I'm going to click on the leaderboard section, I'm going to go to the rarity tab. And right now you're seeing the rarity leaderboard. I know a lot of people are happy to see this feature being implemented, including myself. It's definitely one of the highly requested features, I would say. And right now I just want to show you how the formula works, because at the end of the day, this is really, I would say, not really that straightforward formula. But then again, it's something new, it's something different, and I think it's important that to shed some light on this, to explain more how it works. So the first thing I'd like to mention is that unanimously, what a word, unanimously, we've decided in a Discord server that we are excluding common and uncommon trophies altogether. So the rarity leaderboard only consists of rare trophies and upwards. Because at the end of the day, it is really a rarity leaderboard. So the trophies, common and uncommon trophies, they don't really belong here. Secondly, wait, I'm gonna zoom in a bit so maybe you can see it better. I think so, yeah. All right. Secondly, I want to talk about is the formula itself. Now, the formula itself is quite something different that you might see from other rarity leaderboards. It is actually way more diverse, I would say. So I'm actually going to demonstrate this. Right now you're seeing here the formula. It is a power law formula, 100 divided by the earn rate and the square root of 1.2. So let's take this for example. Let's say for example you have a 1% trophy, okay? So right now I have a calculator here to better demonstrate this. 100 divided by the earn rate, so in this context it's a 1% trophy, yes, and then the square root of 1.2. So what you're seeing right now is the total amount of points you get from a 1% trophy, which is 251. And if you hover over these things, you can also see that 251, that's actually the minimum amount of points you gain for a legendary. Legendary is only from sub 1%. So this is actually what you're seeing right here. It's this bar that is completely filled. That is the very minimum amount of points you can gain. That's always a guaranteed. Now, if you look at the other side of spec, you can see this is also a little bit colored here. This is all dynamic. So depends on really on the percentage you can gain. And if you look here closely, earn rates floor at 0.1%. The maximum single trophy score is 3,981. So let's take this one another example. Last time we tried a 1% trophy, which is 251. Okay, so I'm gonna do the formula again. 100 divided by 0.1 and the square root of this equals 3,981. So that is for a 0.1% trophy, you gain this amount of points, whereas a 1% trophy is 251. So in context, that is nearly, quick maths, approximately 16? A little bit, yeah, roughly 16. So a 0.1% trophy earns you about 16 times more points than a 1% trophy. And this is actually deliberate. This is deliberate because at the end of the day, what felt more natural is the lower you go, the more points you gain. Because you're both at the end of the spectrum. You're either at the very end, at the lowest you can go, or at the highest you can go within that category. So naturally, it felt way more rewarding in that sense to do it like this, to reward people who go for lower and lower trophies and gain more points. So yeah, that's really how the formula works. It might actually not be as obvious initially, but then again, I think once you start to really understand how this works, yeah, it becomes more obvious over time. So that's really how the formula works. And I think actually another demonstration to show you how this works. So right now we see the Rarity leaderboard, and a great example of this is the number 3 here. Number 3 has on paper, it looks like the number 3 is has more points, because if you look at the stats here, 3,600, 3,000, nearly 3,800, 5,900, 7,000. So on paper, number 3 has a lot more of these trophies. So naturally, you would think, hey, this also should earn more points, right? But since we've seen it before, like, this is all dynamic. So what happens here is that the number 3 more than likely has higher percentage trophies than the number 2 or number 1, you know? Because they might have very low trophies, and that's how you get more points. So that's actually a really good demonstration here. It might not be as obvious initially, but yeah, at the end of the day, people who go lower and lower will reward more points, and I think that's really fair. So yeah, it's definitely something new. It is also really nice that I see a lot of different names in this leaderboard. It's especially contrary to all other Rarity leaderboards I've seen thus far. You know, it's very diverse, and I really like to see it. All right. Anything else I want to add to this? I've been getting some questions about the average. What does this average mean? Now, in order for me to better demonstrate this or explain this, I'm actually going over to the overall leaderboard. So with the overall leaderboard, naturally, the higher level you are, the more points you have. So it's almost like linked of inherit on each other. The higher level you are, the more likely you have more points. So with the Rarity leaderboard, it's actually the same. So what this average means, it means all your trophies combined, all the rarities of your trophies combined, and then divided by the total amount of trophies. So this is actually the average rarity percentage. And like we've seen on the formula, the lower you go, the more points you gain. And in this context, it's really the lower you go in terms of rarity percentage, the much more likely you are able to get more points out of this. Not always in this case. We've seen some examples here where people have a bit higher completion rate, you know. But generally, I felt like that was a good indicator, to display here, because it really, it really depends on how low you go, how more points you gain. That's really what the average means. And that is it right now so far for the Rarity leaderboard. I think this is also the display. This also shown on the profile, which we will dive in now. So I'm actually going to type in my own profile for demonstration. Loading. It's pretty fast still, you know. It's doing really well, gotta say. All right. So what is new? We've got a whole new tab left menu panel. I'm actually going to display what it looks like on tablet and mobile as well. So when you resize here, you know, this right now what you're seeing is a tablet view, and this right here is a mobile view. So you can actually, this one is deliberate. It's on the bottom, so it's easier to navigate, especially with your thumb when you're on mobile. So yeah, that's why you can really change the views, and on tablet or on desktop it is on the left panel here. So yeah, that's a game view and a stats view. And we've got here the total amount of games completed, your completion percentage, your earned trophies, global ranking and rarity ranking. And these also will link to the respective positions. So as you can see, it is also anchored as one of the quality of life updates. Before it just went to the right page here, but now it actually highlights your own profile as well. You know, it lights up a little bit, boop, and then but it also anchors straight on this position. So yeah, that's really, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. The rarity breakdown we have here, this is actually the same value we have on the Rarity leaderboard. So you can see 18.7, 18.7, that matches. And then we've got the breakdown of all the trophies per Rarity category. So one extra category here for those who really like to go super rare, you know, it's like legendary, new status, sub 1%. And then also the breakdowns here, you know, this is like the other rarities from PlayStation and so yeah, that's really, I think this page is actually very self-explanatory. I don't really have too much to add to this part. So anything else I would like to explain? Yeah, I think I've done a few quality of life updates, especially on the timeline. So the timeline now also displays the full timestamps as well, and you can also this is actually a menu. This I don't think there was before. You can actually also click, and it also anchors to that specific trophy. You need it's the same highlight here. So it makes navigating towards a specific window pretty easy, you know, just pretty easy overall. Anything else? Yeah, a little bit. I think especially on mobile view. Let me check. Whoop. Yep. Especially with the buttons, I came to realize, you know, I was practicing the UI on my mobile view, and I was like, okay, this is pretty awkward with certain buttons. So especially some buttons are now a lot bigger, which makes clickability, you know, just generally the usability of the UI and the UX just way much better in that sense. So yeah, that's really oh, did I see just a bug here? I think I saw a bug. Definitely need to fix that one. Yeah, I think so. Okay, interesting. Anyway, anything else? Let me check. Not so much. Oh yeah, we've. That's actually a funny one. So especially in light of version 1.3, account creation is almost there. But one thing I would like to mention, I had to make substantial changes to the profile page, which also means I am going to delete the Easter egg. And yes, there was been an Easter egg from day one. I already addressed that in the Discord server, but I actually going to explain it right now how it works, because I feel like if I don't do this, people might actually never know about it, you know. So if you click your avatar 5 times in 2 seconds, you will get a video displayed. Oppa! Yes, sir. So that was really the Easter egg. Yeah. Actually works on mobile as well. Any platform, you can just tap your avatar and it will show up this video. So yeah, that is really about it for version 1.2. I don't think I have too much to add on that sense. Next up is the account creation. It's gonna be the biggest update thus far. I'm really excited to release that one. So stay tuned for more. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.